What's going on, guys? This is your boy XQ420 here. I want to welcome everybody back. Another episode, Showtime with the Q. I've got my co-host with me, the powerful Corey Hughes. Corey, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for having me, as usual.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody for being here, checking us out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. If you listen to us on podcast platforms, hit the follow button there. Every like, every comment, every listen is much appreciated. So, Corey, today we are going to be looking at the trailer for Wakanda Forever. The sequel.
Really? Does it have to be forever? It can't just be for like a while?
Well,
for Wakanda for a while. That sounds good.
Yeah, for a little bit, until it's destroyed. And then it's no longer Wakanda. We got to keep Wakanda around forever, all right? It's been introduced, so now it has to be here forevermore. Now, of course, on the recent Chadwick Boseman death, well, it's not recent anymore. It's been about a year now, hasn't it? It's been about a year.
Oh yeah, at this point, he's beyond worm food.
Yeah. So it's been about a year, and that definitely threw their plans off as far as the filming of this movie. They had to do pretty much a complete rewrite because, of course, you're not expecting that.
They could have just snuck in another actor and been
they said they didn't want to. They said he was so iconic they didn't want to ruin that moment.
Iconic. The motherfucker made one movie. Like, what are you talking about? Iconic.
Man, he was in Civil War. He was in both the Avengers, and he had his own. He was in 4 movies, Corey. Okay, I mean,
as soon as you die, all your works are like masterpieces. It's fucked up.
That's the way it is. So you got to die to get the true recognition you deserve. So the short, it's not synopsis, but what they got up here on IMDb: the nation of Wakanda is pitted against intervening world powers as they mourn the loss of their king T'Challa. All right, so that's the beginnings of that. So, Corey, what we are going to do, we are going to watch this trailer, and then, of course, as always, we're going to give our breakdown on it. So you can see the footage right now, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to go ahead and kick it off.
Broken people can be great leaders.
His people did not call him general or king. They called him Kukul Khan, the feather serpent god. Killing him will risk eternal war.
He's coming for the surface world.
We know what you whisper.
Lost the protector. Now is our time to strike.
Show them who we are.
All right. So there it is. Wakanda Forever trailer. Initial thoughts on the trailer, Corey?
Well, I don't feel this is a strong enough property to really stand on its own. So what I anticipate is a lot of crossover with other things. And I don't really understand how they fit into the larger MCU.
Right. Okay.
And I saw Black Panther. And it had its share of like crossover stuff in it, if I remember correctly. And, but I don't, here's the thing, like that entire character and his environment and surroundings feels more like the type of character that should be involved in being more like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right? Not having to solve the fucking, the conquering of Earth for the 50th time, but having to do battle with a more localized villain, I really appreciated back in the day before all these crossovers how Superman had Lex Luthor and Spider-Man had, Green Goblin and whoever else at the time, right?
Doc Ock,
They were all localized. There was never the risk of the universe was going to fucking come to an end, right? So they didn't have the responsibility of saving the universe. It was back, bring it back to basics is what I'm saying. Bring it back to the simple villain versus the good guy. And all of those ancient themes that we've already talked about so much.
Okay. I can agree with that. Of course, we see Namor in this, so we're going to be dealing with the conflict between him and his people and Wakanda. I'm guessing it's an age-old conflict. So the runtime on this is 2 hours and 41 minutes. So here's the only thing. Here's one of the things that I hope doesn't happen. Okay, and I got a feeling it's going to. That I'm going to get an hour worth of crying. I got a feeling I'm going to get an hour worth of folks dancing around, crying, beating the drum for Black Panther. I'm just like, and it's going to be kind of interesting on how they explain his death. Because is it going to be at the hands of somebody, or is it just going to be like random?
I thought about this a little.
Yeah.
They could get away with an unknown sickness overcame him and just let it go at that. They could do that and it would be plausible and people would buy it. Now, I don't know if this would be in good taste or bad taste, but incorporating his death into the storyline that they revisit with a later villain. I don't know if you got to get permission from the family and all that stuff, I'm sure. And do you want to go down that road? I don't know if that's considered bad taste or not. So,
right.
But
so
they could always they could always incorporate it in the storyline. But honestly, something like this, everyone knows what happened, and we know that they had to rewrite shit. We know they were in a bad position. Nobody is going to fault them if they brush over it really quickly.
Which kind of makes you think on how this was going to go before his death. Was it still going to be this particular conflict between Wakanda and Namor? And is it the Atlanteans? Is Namor Atlanteans, or is that right?
I don't know. That's a little bit deeper nerd speak than I'm currently familiar.
Okay, all right. I believe it's the. Okay, I believe it's the. Yeah, so King Namor, aka the Submariner. Okay, Atlantis. All right. So Atlantis. Of course, looks like Namor in the comics is white, but we got to have cultural appropriation. Okay, what's this guy? Mexican, Puerto Rican, something like that. He looks something like that. That's what Namor looks like. So it looks like going to be our main conflict. We see the wings on his feet. Obviously, he's able to glide across the air with those wings. I'm not sure. I don't know a ton about the Submariner. Do you know a lot about him, Corey?
No, I sure don't.
Namor. Yeah. So I guess whatever they give us here, I
have a feeling he's underwater.
We appreciate that insight, Corey. I'm just throwing that out there. I think he may live underwater. Now, of course, we see somebody that they're going to be introducing later, and she's actually going to have a TV show. I can't think of the young lady's name right offhand, but we seen her making the Ironheart suit. So she re-engineers Tony Stark's Iron Man suit, and she becomes Ironheart. So we actually see her do that in this movie. So I got a feeling we're gonna have there's gonna be a lot of moving parts here. And from what I understand, from what people have said, I don't know if it's true or not, that you might end up finding out at the end of this that the true villain is actually Doctor Doom. Supposedly there might be a Doctor Doom cameo, maybe at the end or post credits.
That's like the iron face looking guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doctor Doom. So I've heard some rumblings about that.
And we've yet to see Doctor Doom in anything so far. Going back to the beginning of these comic movies, nothing. So this will be a brand new experience.
Yep. Well, I guess you had their previous projects, but as far as in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they hadn't did anything with the Fantastic Four yet.
Oh, there was that Doctor Doom.
Yeah, there was two.
That horrible movie with the guy from Nip Tuck. I always forget that guy's name.
Yeah, you know where they went to a different dimension and he came back and it was just like wow, okay.
Right. So they have an opportunity to do it right now.
Yeah. So they've kind of fell short with Doctor Doom in those previous movies, but maybe when they bring them to the MCU, they'll do a little bit better. Now, the one thing that the MCU is going to have to do, they're going to have to not be afraid for things to get dark. Can you agree with that, Corey? They not be afraid to take stuff to the edge or even take it over the edge.
I agree. And I think this goes back to kind of like the pendulum swinging in film as it has over the decades, going from an era of like goody two-shoes to one of more sexual liberation in the 60s to more violence in the 70s, back to your more goody two-shoes movies like Back to the Future and Gremlins and stuff in the 80s, you know, and so the pendulum swings back and forth. And I feel like we are on the cusp of the pendulum beginning its swing back the other direction. And I think we're going to see a couple years of less wokeness in movies, more traditional themes, and even darkness and violence stepped up a notch.
Yeah. So I think that will get more people interested in it for the long term, because we've got to be honest. When we're talking about superheroes, we're looking at high stakes. That's just all there is to it. People are in danger. So that's what we want to see. We want to see a high stake movie. And I know we talked about this in the She-Hulk finale, where they were like, "Oh, you know, some flashy big bang ending." And I'm like, "But that's what people want to see." I mean, I want to see a twist in it. I want to see some type of crazy fight. You know, so that's what you want to see. I mean, it's just automatic. So unless you got just like a love story or something, you know, Brokeback Mountain or something like that. Even that had a flashy ending. The tire exploded in my man's face and he died. So, and I don't know that because I watched it. I know that because somebody who watched it told me. I just could never bring myself to watch that movie. It's just like, just the name of it, Brokeback Mountain. I was like, I can't do it. And then it's something about two gay guys. I'm like, Brokeback. I'm like,
yeah, that's on your playlist along with the Crying Game.
Yeah, it's like, I can't watch it, man. It just sounds like a bad porno. Which it wasn't, I guess. I don't know. I ain't watched it. If somebody's watched it, you know, just leave it in the comment section below what you thought about the movie. But back to Wakanda Forever. We also see a new Black Panther. All right. So somebody takes over the mantle. Now, from the body shape, it looks like it's going to be a woman. Could you agree with that?
X cubed.
Well, I mean, that's what it looks like.
It's 2022. Like, men are barred from doing anything that they would normally do.
Now, I know some people were talking about, oh man, they're gonna bring Killmonger back. I'm like, oh, but he had a sword, like, you know, directly through his chest last I seen, and he died in the, you know, looking at the sun one last time. So I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna bring him back. it's something up with just randomly bringing back characters that kind of makes the stakes like a whole lot less. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like
Now,
the Dragon Ball Z effect.
Now, answer me this. Is Black Panther more of an individual name, or is it something that's passed on, kind of like how the Ring can jump from person to person for the Green Lantern, right?
It's passed on.
And so the Black Panther is passed on as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black
So
Panther
then
is
it can
passed
pretty
on.
much go to anybody, and it's not really a character appropriation to hand it off to someone else.
Right.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So
then honestly, we should just expect a woman, because that's just how fucking things are these days.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just have to start our expectations at that baseline.
Now the question is, which woman? Is it one that we've already seen, or is this going to be a new face? That's what we don't know.
Okay, here's the big question: Is it going to be a white woman or a black woman?
Oh Lord. Oh man, where you think they're gonna find a white woman to put in Wakanda? Hey, look, they already, when Bucky was in the, in the initial Black Panther in Wakanda, you know what I'm saying? They slipped that one white dude in there. They're like, man, we can't have too many. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the biggest problem with Wakanda is there is a distinct lack of diversity. So they most certainly should have, like, maybe even a Hispanic fucking Black Panther.
Hey, look, they are allowed to not have
one of them Indian dudes.
But look, they're allowed to not have diversity, and they're allowed to say that we don't want diversity, okay, in Wakanda, and that's got to be okay. All right, you can come visit, but you can't stay. I mean, even Bucky had to leave. He had to go back. But you got to get out of here, man. We've seen your white ass long enough, okay? This is Wakanda, damn it. All right. You're messing up the flow around here. Next thing you know, you're going to be wanting to be the Black Panther. We can't have none of that. I wonder if they could combine stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bucky's already a super soldier. Obviously, all you got to do is drink of the flower of the nectar and be buried alive, and you come back. Could he be double superpowered? Bucky, why didn't you think about this? I mean, that's all I'm saying, Bucky. That was your opportunity, okay? That was your opportunity to shine. So let's see. Was there anything else in the trailer that really stood out? Some Namor Atlantean conflict. It looks like it's going to be the bulk of it.
No, I was too busy. I was too busy crying to really pick up on a lot of those details. So.
Crying over T'Challa.
The whole trailer was like, boo-hoo, he's dead. That was really the whole trailer.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's a stark difference in trailers in between the one that we previewed previously, which is Black Adam. That's a stark difference. You know what I'm saying? And so it's and that's what my as I said earlier, that is something that I hope we don't get. I hope I don't get an hour worth of them crying and just walking around with their heads hung and they trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, oh no, because as I said, 2 hours and 41 minutes worth of runtime. Now, does that mean that we're going to get a substantial backstory on Namor? Do you think that'll be the case? And their conflict? It's 2 hours and 41 minutes. So something's got to be in there.
It's the same thing. It's, if they go too much into backstory, they open themselves up to contradiction and all kinds of things, which I'm sure there's going to be plenty of. So, yeah, I hope not. I have a feeling they're going to brush right over his death pretty quickly.
Okay.
They might have like extended scenes of like ceremony and all that stuff, but as far as telling us what happened to him, it's going to be like boop boop done.
Okay.
I really, and I hope, and I'm okay with that. I hope that they just say, look, motherfucker got, the fucking woolly bully disease, right? And fucking died real quick. That's it. So.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
He choked at the barbecue, You
think Wakandans are having a pig picking? I mean, come on, man.
No, they was eating like lion or whatever the fuck. Zebra.
Zebra. Man said they had some slow cooked zebra out there. It's a zebra. What are they doing eating that? So that's so that's good. So yeah, Wakanda Forever. I didn't see anything else that that stood out to me right offhand. Of course, there's channels that do the Easter egg stuff. They'd be like, "Oh, look at this little trinket," and I'd be like, "Man, that's just too much for me." And once again, you set yourself up for disappointment in the future because you always think, "Oh, it's leading to this and that," and it ends up not leading you anywhere. So yeah, looks like the major conflict between those two. We might have a secret villain that pops up. Doctor Doom potentially might be the mastermind of the conflict between Wakanda and the Atlanteans. He might be the one who's actually pulling the strings on that to get them to go against one another. It looks like we're going to. I hope that this is good. Okay, because of the runtime. Because the last thing you want is like that long of a runtime, and you can feel the runtime. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, dude. This movie still going? So it's the one thing about the runtime. You got to be careful.
To do something that brings the entire set, the whole setting of this movie, and they make it relevant in the larger MCU, or they come up with a really good localized character, right? Because I just don't see a villain. That is, I just don't see them at the moment being overly relevant to much, and so. If that's going to be the case, they need to either make it relevant and insert it into the MCU on a larger scale than it was before, or they need to keep it localized, like I said earlier. Have a localized villain, right? Like,
yeah,
Big Oil's going to come and set up in the fucking Congo or whatever. Something like viable. Something with a bunch of white dudes in suits where they can beat up on.
There you go. Need to have race involved. And they did it. They might have painted themselves in the corner because, of course, Killmonger has been critically acclaimed as one of the best villains of the MCU, just as far as his backstory, why he's trying to go back to Wakanda, what his whole mission was. So to try to follow up that particular villain may be difficult. So we're going to have to see how well this particular gentleman who was playing Namor does. Tenoch Huerta. I don't know if I've seen him in anything.
I don't think I have either.
No. Now I know him. He is he's one of the main characters in the Forever Purge. He's Juan. That's where I thought I seen him from. That's a hell of a jump. Went from Juan in the Forever Purge to Namor in the Black Panther, and that was that's his big jump right there. So he's taking a huge leap right there. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if he's able to pull this off and what kind of nuance that Namor is going to have. Namor looks like a very serious character. He looks like a no-nonsense type of guy. So it's going to be interesting to see how he pulls that off. I hope that they don't have a whole lot of japes in this. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like the Thor Love and Thunder, where it was just like a laughing movie the whole time. I hope they kind of don't try to just randomly just throw random humor stuff in there for no reason. What do you think about that, Corey?
No, I agree with you. I think the time for humor is past, and we need to start seeing some serious ass kicking again.
Yep, can agree with that. So that's Wakanda Forever, out November 11th, if I'm correct, November 11th. So that's not too far away either. So we're going to be having competition right there from Black Adam on the this week, and then not in the too distant future, we'll have Wakanda Forever. So, of course, people who are DC fanatics, people who are Marvel fanatics, they will be comparing those two movies and probably talking shit about each other. More than likely. There's Black Adam came out and it just stomped, you know what I'm saying? Which I got a feeling Black Adam's probably going to make $1 billion.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easily.
Wakanda Forever, it'll probably be close. And I know this is going to sound bad, but it's just because a whole bunch of black folks are going to go watch it. They may not watch anything else, but I know when I went and watched the first Black Panther with my girlfriend, my girlfriend's white, we went in there was like nothing but black folks. And there was some black folks in there in like ceremonial African robes. I'm like, y'all Negroes ain't never stepped foot in Africa. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just like, what are y'all doing, man? It's just
I think if that's the case, then it might bring out a bigger audience than normal, because it might bring in that whole black community on top of the normal MCU nerds who are all going to go fucking see it.
Yep, it will. It will. So, especially after Chadwick Boseman's death. So yeah, I think it has a potential to reach close to that $1 billion range. Of course, that's worldwide. I think it has real potential to reach that. So it'll be interesting. We'll have these two movies back to back: Black Adam, which will be DCEU, and then Wakanda Forever. So be interesting to see which one reigns supreme. So anything else to add on this particular trailer?
Nope. Just curious to see where it takes us.
Yep. Very curious. So I don't have anything else either. Of course, we know about the Ironheart, which is going to turn into a TV show. I think a year or a year and a half from now, she's going to have her own TV show for that. So that's going to be her world building is going to start here in Wakanda Forever. And she might be part of Armor Wars as well, which I thought was going to be a TV show, but now they're talking about making it into a movie. So that'd be interesting to see there. So that's going to wrap up this trailer review of Wakanda Forever. Let us know what you think about the trailer, your feelings on the movie. Are you excited to go watch it? Do you think it'll be any good? Let us know that in the comment section below. We appreciate everybody for checking us out. From your boy XCube420, my co-host Corey Hughes. We'll catch y'all on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.